course, I have to thank Lamont and Sean and Alexis. I was really honored. I thought the poem that's published in here, I thought I would never get it published. So I'm going to start with something called Long Song. It kind of came out of my music writing days, and most of it's true. Most. It's called Long Song. I went to Mongolia, the land that worships horse. The sky was cobalt, bursts of orange. The first to greet me was Yo-Yo Ma, grinning like a cartoon. He doesn't drink, so I couldn't say, hey, let's get a beer. At the yurt, our host gave me something in a jeweled handle. Shattered from the flight, it probably had something to do with the dreams that jolted like stalled acellas. The next day, I met the Long Song singer in the stable, horses maid. She rehearsed the tale of Sarov. I didn't understand it. It was in Mongolian, but something to do with the land, how they reverence the horse and the horsehead fiddle. I didn't meet Zola. I watched her lone braid swinging to her ankles, shapely ankles. I lusted after those, and her jacket, fine old brocade, complicated fasteners. Zola in apricot and maroon, the voice was strange. She could sing 3 notes at a time, hold them, howl them in the cavern of her throat. Circle breathing, it's called. And it'll be better for me, I won't be as nervous if you don't clap till the end. This one is in Whirlwind, and it's had 5,000 revisions. So it already now has a few tweakings. This one erupted when I was dying to go to Sicily, and especially the island of Lampedusa, where the leopard was the book, the movie comes from. And I set my Google alerts for cheap airfares. And well, instead of too many cheap, expensive airfares I couldn't afford, this is what came up. The boat disasters. I just want to say one more thing. When I get to the end of the poem, there, as of January this year, there were 6 million of the refugees from Syria, Somalia, Eritrea, etc. But I was Googling around, and there are 60 million refugees fleeing national, political, etc. persecution. 60 million. Okay. It has an epigram, or epigraph. The boats. In the hold of the earth, 10,000 are drifting. Derek Walcott. October 3, 2013. An airport's as good as anywhere. Bring the coffins around the baggage claim. 110, they brought no luggage. Lampedusa, closer to Africa than Italy, which claims it. Who claims them? Not the last to die escaping. Ring the donated coffins around the baggage claim. The Pope's ashamed. Who throws a child overboard? The island has no hospital. The archipelago where sea turtles are protected. $3,000 to cross the 70 miles in flimsy boats. The mayor's ashamed. Set your Google alerts for Sicily, Syria, Eritrea. Waves of wrecks and rescues. October 11th, 2013. Once, on an airport escalator, I heard the pilgrims sing the chorus from Tannhäuser, Lonesome's Lone Leader, in an airport. The Prime Minister declares a funeral of state. He changes his mind. No funeral. The mayor's ashamed. Europe is burning. Europe is drowning. She'll bury them in Lampedusa. Somewhere the pilgrims sing. November 2013. In 1860, the prince they call the leopard dreads Garibaldi, unification. He sells Lampedusa to the king of Naples. Sicilians fear change. They like to sleep. On Rabbit Beach, sea turtles sleep. Statistics: 4-figure deaths, 6-figure landings. Sounds like banking. The Pope's ashamed. The women of the island empty. January 2016. 6 million. How many dead? How many free in squalor? A port's as good as anywhere to fasten borders. Depot, seaport. Europe is screaming. A tent's as good as they'll get. A blanket, biscuits, no water. Don't they know? In Syria, we are a good people. I'm a white shirt man. Who's listening? So this next poem, there's a couple of poems, maybe 3, not that long. And this poem came because I was doing a really longed-for renovation of my basement. I thought it would be a guest room for my kids. It turned out to be my most favorite room in the house, my writing studio, and it's called Salvage. The beams are hemlock, not the poison bush, the boards that built the Northeast before they emptied the Pennsylvania wood, Dave says. The boards are hemlock. Why does this give such pleasure? I sit on the unfinished stairs to the unfinished basement, a room sprouting up. The studs for the drywall, stroke of luck, Douglas fir, the smell of Christmas. The row house ceiling was low, a hodgepodge of pipes and cords, electrical. Cover it up. It's impossible, Tango said. Do a drop. 3 more bids, and Bruce, who almost worked out. At Julian's funeral, Norm pops up. Did you call Dave? At Julian's wake, Julian, who understood sadness and happiness sleep in the same bed, I chase the room for reverie. The concrete marbling makes me think of end papers, a history of damage, lino gobs, spots of oil. It's a crappy floor, Tony says, what he used to say about the ceiling. Now he's willing to sand the floor, wax it down. Now his boss Dave demurs. Biblical, this willingness to try one thing, another. Why it's taken 3 months more, I'm not minding. Mornings they park their coolers under my old pine table. We laugh about the Farrelly and Cohn brothers. Dave rants on politics, religion. Tony rants about not spending. My dog Ben is happy. Yesterday, Tony said the beams that Dave scraped tail are salvage. The hemlock may go back to 1880. We'll find a welcome stone. The one at Goethe's house says, Salve. And from this poem sprouted this next poem because my friend Nancy, who, thank you, is here, we decided we were going to go check our houses and see if they really went back to the 1800s. And we went to the free library, and it's all there. The maps, the census. We were astonished. And yes, it does. This little crappy row house. Okay. Her name is Charlotte Loveday. I see her, and I don't. Charlotte, who lives in my house before it's my house. An unpaved road she knows is Barcroft I call Alder, one of Philly's bantams. Charlotte in 1880 lives alone. She's 78. I live alone. I'm 70. The Philadelphia census, black, female, washerwoman. So easily we label. I see the bold strokes of a 19th century pen. I've just seen Lincoln the movie. That war is on my mind. I learned that Baltimore is Charlotte's birthplace. Maryland, slave state. I've lived in Baltimore. My thoughts loop round. Her name, a heroine's name. Charlotte Bronte, Charlotte Fortin. Loveday or Loveday? Did the census taker mess up? Did she change it? I find a genealogist who finds 1 Loveday, 3 birth dates in Baltimore. 1 Philadelphia address, unknown, and mine. and the loveliest Harmony Street. Charlotte Loveday, born 1802, 1805, 1810. Enumeration dates are often wrong. 2 Maryland families, William Loveday, 14 slaves, Henry Loveday, free black cigar maker. My mother's family, cigar makers. Miss Loveday's neighbors on my street, before it's my street, McGraths and Sweeneys, carpenters, dock workers. Next door to Charlotte, black female washerwoman, Julia Turner. Friends, maybe, maybe not. My friend is Kathleen Turner. No plumbing on Barcroft. Alleys used as cisterns. 1 spigot for the block. Outhouses. Outdoor kitchens. Washing done outside. Steam boxes. Start on Sunday takes the whole of Monday. Borax is new. Fly from wood ash, rough on hands. I think of Joan at Snyder Laundromat, weighing loads, unloading, folding my neighbor's clothes. How hard she works, Joan from Nigeria. Charlotte, may I call you Charlotte? Where you prepare your meals, my patio, I write in your coal cellar. Thank the hemlock beams, the dawn rises on the Delaware. How many of our looks have overlapped? How many disappointments? And from this point, after feeling guilty because I didn't have Charlotte's voice, I started to search very badly for voices of women like Charlotte in the 1800s in Philly. Couldn't find anything because I was a crappy researcher. Now Google. I'm on Google and I'm doing much better. But I went to the Library Company of Philadelphia and I found a woman who lived on 7th and Bainbridge, whose life was probably, an African American woman whose life was probably better than Charlotte's, but this was the first that I could find. And there's 2 voices, the speaker and the diary is in Sally Benning's voice. At the Library Company, Box 4, Folder 3, 1890 to 1892. No bigger than matchbooks. Sally Sanders Benning, her days. Fine feather script, no crossouts. Sunday. Went to church in my accordion dress. Hattie there. Sam played in the morn. Retired 10:30. Monday. Sewing in the fair morn. Finished Julie's wrapper. Ella stayed home. Dancing school. Dick the only fella. Retired 10:30. In 1850, Richard Cogdell brings his mistress and their daughter Sally and her siblings from South Carolina to a home he purchases for them in Philadelphia. Tuesday, went to church, sewing all day. Finished Mrs. D's wrapper. Retired 11. Wednesday, rehearsals in the evening. Answered Bill's letter. Retired 10:30. Thursday, rain all day. Sewing. Florence is back. Retired 10:30. Sally's brother, Robert, manages the household when their father is away. He isn't absentee. He comes often. Sunday. Church. Sam is here. Julie with the children. Read in the evening. Retired 11. Monday. Took lessons. Rained until 6 o'clock. Evening copying music. Retired at 10. Tuesday. Taught school for Henny. She is sick. Everything went okay. Church in the evening.
You just want a drink?
Retired 10:30. Richard Cogdell's offspring prosper. Teachers, tradesmen, hairdressers, wig makers, tailors. Sally Sanders is a seamstress. She marries Edward Benning, carpenter. Thursday, swept our room, sewing all afternoon. Tom Chestnut, buried today, retired at 10. How old is Sally when her father dies? In Philadelphia. When does he give her her freedom papers? Does he live to see his grandchildren? Friday, music lesson fair, garden party for the fellows, oh what fun. Retired 10:30. Saturday, practiced all the cloudy morning. Blood, first time since I was sick. Retired at 10. And I found it interesting that the library company in Philly was founded in 1731 by Ben Franklin, and it was only 19 years later that Richard Hoggle was bringing his other family from South Carolina. So there's two more, slight change. It's partially a found poem for Sergio. To be a gardener spellbound, to stand a vigil listening to cabbages, potatoes, the crescent moon. Your brother is lost, she says. The priests are gone. Where are the trade winds? Your brother is lost. Lost is the bandoneon that likes its sad and necessary music. The sea is lost and found, and lost, accepting. Time's ticking, the stranger said, eyes watering. Your brother is lost. Lost is the squeeze box of the necessary. The priests are gone. Time's ticking. Where are the trade winds? The bandoneon likes being lost, sad squeeze box. And you, my brother. Last one. I have a lot of houses, I was told in my last manuscript review. This one's called Thief. The summer I came back east. Friends lent their fine old house. A spider to the pomegranate, lush window seats, a purple couch. My friends had lived in Jeddah, good jewels and spices. Above the fireplace, his ancestors eyed each other. Hers painted the 18th century botanicals. I wanted things I'd never thought about. Sea glass, an idle table. Considering the poet's library, I couldn't write. I fed the birds, the squirrels, myself. At night, I was afraid of one brown bat. The day I left, I went into the kitchen, took her cutting board, shaped like a pig. Thank you. Thank you very much.